by default, conclusively, with no ability to argue against this. You cannot convince me that I'm wrong, but if you could only choose one, it's cardio.
Lifting weights. And why do we want to lift weights, Patty?
To build muscle.
And the reason for that is because muscle tissue actually burns more calories at rest than fat tissue does.
Muscle burns about 8 calories per pound added in comparison to 2 per pound added of fat. And so if you add 10 pounds of fat, you're burning about 20 calories. And if you add 10 pounds of muscle, you're burning about 80 calories. And so if you put on 25 pounds of muscle, which very hard to do. It's not easy. It's going to take a couple of years for most people, or some people will take even longer than that. That's going to add 200 calories of burning to your body. Is that less than you thought? 200 calories. Now, mind you, you're going to also burn more calories while using that muscle. That's at rest. And so if you're lifting weights and the weights are twice as heavy, you're going to burn twice as many calories, but it's only 200. In comparison, if you go to do cardio right now, 3 miles an hour, and you weigh 154 pounds, you're going to burn 300 calories. If you then increase your cardiovascular ability and you go 6 miles per hour, which is not that hard, you could probably do that in a year, you're going to burn double that. And so which do you think is easier? It's much easier to double your calories doing cardio than it is to double your calories by building muscle. And so by default, conclusively, with no ability to argue against this, you cannot convince me that I'm wrong. I've thought about this for perhaps 35 years since I was a teenager. And so I'm not biased. I've done the cycling, the lifting, a professional bodybuilder, riding bikes. If I had to pick between lifting weights and doing cardio for the rest of my life, I'm doing cardio. I like muscles, but yet I know that cardio is better for me, burns more calories, is better for my health than lifting weights. And so if you had to choose, you could choose one. I would like you to choose two, but if you could only choose one, it's cardio. I lift weights twice a week. I do cardio 6 to 7 days a week.
6, 7!
I think it's perhaps 3 times more important, give or take. Why would it be so? And considering if I thought lifting weights was so important, why wouldn't I be doing it 4 days a week? You don't think I want to have muscles? Literally, I love having muscles. I loved it so much that I ended up using steroids for 10 years. And so I value a muscular body. But yet I'm still doing more cardio than I'm lifting weights. And so when you're not sure what to do, you're thinking, I got time today to do some bikes, some running, whatever, or to go to the gym and lift weights. Choose the cardio. The greatest association with longevity in terms of like being physical and whatnot is your VO2 max. How much oxygen your body can use. And so the more physically fit you are in terms of your cardiovascular, the longer you're gonna live.
With jump ropes, we can do up to 700 to 1,000 calories burned an hour.
Jumping rope doesn't burn more calories than running marathons, riding in the Tour de France, doing Ironman triathlons, swimming, the stepper, running up a mountain, or any of that stuff. You only burn as many calories as you can burn based on the watts that you're producing, the energy required. And so to me, this is useless. It's futile. I see no reason why these calorie ranges were represented. Because if I'm watching this and I'm the casual observer, and I know that Jesse's audience isn't as advanced as mine, if I'm watching this, I would choose skipping because, hey, that one burns 700 to 1,000 calories and the rest, it was only like 5 to 700. And so why would I bother going on the treadmill or running or elliptical when I can just skip and burn way more calories? You can't. They all burn the same based on how much you practice it and your VO2 max, which you improve by doing cardio. How hard? Harder than last time. The same logic applies to lifting weights as it does for doing cardio.
Up next, it's time for our next category, fat loss gadgets.
Gadgets, in terms of their abilities to help you lose weight, they're not that important. I would say weighing your food is a good idea. I would say having a scale to see if you're making progress. Weighing yourself every day or perhaps 5 days a week and taking your median weight, that's the middle number, and tracking that. And if your weight is tracking down, you're doing it right. If it's tracking up, you need to eat less calories or do more cardio. And so, for example, those Apple watches, the Swoosh watch, the Fitbit watch, the whatever watches you're wearing, on average, they overestimate calories by around 25 to almost 100%. And so it's almost always way over. And so if you look at your watch and you're like, oh, I just burned 1,000 calories, it was probably more like 500, maybe 750. And so you can't go by that. But what you can go by is your scale weight. If you're 160 pounds and you're trying to lose about a pound a week, you look, are you losing about a pound a week? If you are not, you just make some changes. And if you're trying to gain weight, you do the same thing. Is it going up? It's really that simple. Remember, if you do want to lose weight, you need some help, you can hire Coach Greg or myself and my team. We have group calls. We also have personal chats with myself. And so depending on where you're at in your transformation, you may want my help click the link in the description.
We've got the vibration plate, known for increasing your metabolism, burning extra fat while standing, toning muscles without effort, and lose weight just by using it.
I'm thinking that vibration device, it looks like a good time. Perhaps it shakes you into downstairs in all the right places, gets you a little frisky, but not helping you to lose weight. And I can think of better things to do, especially in the boudoir, that would most certainly be helping. Remember, while you're having the sexy time, you're probably not even going to be eating. And the dopamine spike that you get from it, perhaps you're a food addicted eater and you're eating for the dopamine that you get from the pleasure from eating the food. If you can get the pleasure somewhere else, you might eat less and have more sexy time. And so perhaps the problem in reality, the obesity, it's not just related to the ghrelin and the leptin, the hunger hormones, but the lack of having enough sexy time.
Next one, ice bath. Burns calories while your body's trying to maintain its body temperature.
Cold plunging is not the best at burning fat. I mean, it might burn a few more calories, but you know what burns more calories than sitting in water? Walking. I'd rather just walk outside in the snow in like a jacket and maybe a toque or something, than walk outside in the freezing cold and sit in the freezing cold water, get out and freeze to death, and then be talking about how cold I am for the rest of the day. I do not work well with cold.
Is electromagnetic body sculpting, or in other words, rapidly shocking and heating up your muscles so fast to the point where the fat is supposed to just burn right off of you.
I looked it up on ChatGPT. It actually does in fact work a little bit. It burns off 4 sessions at $500 each, is $2,000 USD. That's like 5 billion Canadian dollars. It burns about 0.2 to 0.7 pounds of fat. That's about 700 to 2,500 calories. And so that would take me between 1 and 3 hours to burn off. And so here's the thing. You can spend $500 for this, which looks like torture, or you can just do cardio for an hour and save yourself the 500 USD and purchase 5 months supply of Turkesterone. It's a win-win, and you can even use code UNEMPLOYED, because if you watch this far into the video, you most certainly are unemployed. Code UNEMPLOYED for 20% off.
Next up, it was onto our first of the injectable fat loss methods, with this metabolism boosting shot known as the lipoline injection.
And so the good news of this is you can actually purchase this pharmaceutical. Lipomino you can purchase at AlgoRx. Use code Greg to save yourself 10%. And remember, at AlgoRx, everything is pharmaceutical and prescribed by doctors.
Wait, am I still natty from this?
Nothing about anything we're doing today is unnatural.
So it's kind of funny how it's unnatural, but yet you're injecting it. I mean, it feels like it's not natty. Now, my personal opinion on, for example, Ozempic and Tirzepatide, I cannot, for the life of me, understand why it allows you to be natural. You can use these products with most certainly help you to lose weight. Without question, it makes it easier. And so imagine you're a bodybuilder and you're trying to get 5% body fat and you're starving all the time. It's very, very difficult. And so you eat the cookies, you do the thing, and you show up at 10% body fat when you were hoping to be 5. This makes it easy. And so you know what else makes training easier? Testosterone, but yet that's banned. Tren, and that is banned. But Tirzepatide and Ozempic, it makes it way easier, but it's allowed. And so you're still natural. Now, does it help you to build muscle? No. But last I checked in bodybuilding, there's 3 things: your shape and the size and your conditioning. And so if you do that and you're not very lean, it's not good. Tirzepatide, Ozempic, it helps you in 1/3 of the things they're looking for in bodybuilding. And so essentially, it's cheating for 33% of it. And so I'm not saying you can't cheat. I'm not saying don't do it, but I am saying use the lowest dose possible and only get products, in my opinion, from AlgoRx or other compounding pharmacies. And so Retta right now, it's not legal. It's not supposed to be used by humans. And so if you're a human, unless you, of course, you can identify as a cat or a dog or a rabbit or whatever, it's 2026. You identify as whatever you want. And if you are, in fact, an animal, I guess you can use it.
All right.
Oh, God.
A little burn. And you're all done.
See, you can tell I'm natural because that scared the hell out of me.
Just he's so funny. Not that I think that he's not natural, but he's like, you can tell I'm natural because of how scared I was to get a shot. You could take steroids or SARMs in oral form in pills, and so have nothing to do with a shot. And you can also fake being shy of a shot. And there are bodybuilders who are petrified of getting shots. I've had to do shots for people multiple times. They didn't dare do it themselves. And so it had to be their girlfriend or their coach or whatever that did their shots because they were scared. They couldn't even look.
So Kybella is an injectable treatment used for reducing fat cells. So like your double chin.
I got a little one.
No, not at all.
Should we inject it real quick?
And so up next, fat dissolver maxing. I feel like we're looking at clavicular at this point. Jesse's all concerned of his double chin. I don't think he even has one. He has a little bit of skin perhaps, but hey, do you? But overall, if we're talking about losing a substantial amount of body fat, injecting into a local area isn't going to make a dent. It really is not. It would be like whenever I have to pay for something, no matter how expensive it is, no dents were made. It's as if Coach Greg is bulletproof.
The first ones are TB500 and BPC 157.
I've heard a lot about these ones, like the BPC and the TB500.
Yeah.
They're not actually legal. People don't know this. They act like, oh, it's nothing. You can't sell this pharmaceutical right now. And so at Algorex, it's only pharmaceutical. They also don't sell Reta because it's in experiments only. It's not for human consumption. Perhaps down the road, it will be prescribed. Algorex is above board. It's not like all these other SARMs websites and so on. Doctors prescribe it. The fact that they've included this in a fat burning video is ludicrous, asinine, and nonsensical. These are peptides, not for human consumption here, not like legally prescribed and so on. And it's for healing injuries. What's next? A Band-Aid helps with fat loss because if you put a Band-Aid on, you're covering the exposure of the cut or the wound to the air, and so it can prevent an infection. And so by preventing an infection, it prevents you from being sick and it allows you to continue to cardio, and so it's a fat burner. It's a little much.
And then the next ones, these are the ones that are a lot more popular these days. You have your tirzepatide and your retatrutide.
And again, something that's not legal. And so Jesse indirectly in this video is promoting illegal products. He probably doesn't know better. I'm not faulting him. I'm not even saying you can't do this, but I do feel it's important to explain to the viewer that this is not legal.
However, unlike Ozempic, which just suppresses your appetite and slows digestion, tirzepatide improves your metabolism to increase weight loss even further. And retatrutide is one of the most powerful of the three.
Also, Reta, way more dangerous, more side effects, especially in higher doses, and so please be careful. A lot of people that take these products, they have to stop. And so what happens in the pharmaceutical world is they over-report how good it is and they under-report how bad it is. The bad studies, let's keep those a secret. Oh, you had those side effects? Let's just not talk about those. Oh, you had these results? Yeah, let's publish those. And so a lot of you probably didn't even know about Ozempic causing blindness in hundreds of people, or anhedonia and all those other side effects. Probably not understanding that some people go to the hospital so backed up that they're in agony, they need surgeries and so on. We don't talk about that. Reta, we don't talk about the number of people that had to drop out of the studies. They're in the phase 3 clinical trials. Perhaps you give 100 here, 100 placebo. Let's say 10 in the 100, they quit because they're in agony. Well, they quit. Let's not talk about them. But if you, as a guinea pig, you purchase it and you don't realize that perhaps there's a 10% chance that you're going to have horrific side effects the way they did, and you don't care. And so my advice, because I'm not saying not to use it, I'm saying be smart about it, is to use the lowest dose that makes you happy. Whatever dose that they told you to start at, do half, talk to a doctor or someone that knows what they're doing, or for example, hire Coach Greg. Click the link in the description.
Okay, and then along with the skin removal, you said you got a little bit of lipo.
Yes.
So that's another way to lose fat. Manually remove it by a machine.
And so another way to lose fat, which wasn't discussed till the end, is Mr. Mike's method. You go to the doctor and they literally suck it out. They can pull out a few pounds. What I'm told from lipo is that they can suck out a limit of up to 8 pounds of fat. They literally suck it out, as in the way that Mr. Mike lost his weight from his love cells on the side of his body, the love handles, from those permabulk days. And so if you have an app, a Renaissance app, and you have a PhD, questionable, and you have perhaps a massive YouTube following, 4 million followers, you can then suck out the fat with the fat products. You can preach to everyone that it's about diet and exercise and consistency, and then you can take medications like tirzepatide, Reta, and get your fat sucked out like Mr. Mike. And so, do we want to listen to people, or do we want to just know what some facts are? The facts are this. If your genetics suck and you do all the right things, you're probably still going to be fat because your genetics suck. I'm not saying you can't lose weight, but what I say is probably you can get halfway there. If you're 300 pounds, you want to be 200, probably get to 250. Which is still amazing. But to get down to that final pounds, you may in fact need to use some Ozempic, some tirzepatide, some of these extra methods and so on. And so do so at your own risk. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm. Please like the video if you liked it. Don't forget to watch any of those two groups, the top or the bottom this time. If you want to be a part of HLT Supplements, click the link and apply coaching plans for myself and my team. Click the link. And to carry supplements in your stores, there's the link for that as well. And until next time, I am out.